It was the original Lexus LS in 1989 that really put the Japanese luxury brand on the map. It stunned the Germans, and it really did change the automotive world in a lot of ways. Well, here is its spiritual successor. It's the 5th generation LS, sporting a far more aggressive design language than any of its predecessors. Still very much an American style look. But as we've seen in many other Lexuses of late, infinitely more adventurous. Probably the most polarizing aspect is that grille. That spindle grille just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But I really do quite like those interesting S-shaped headlights, obviously with adaptive LEDs. Not sure about the chrome wheels though. You can see the beautiful body sculpting if you get it in the right light. I really like the way that the crease extends from the tail light here. And quite a nice rear design as well. I'll give you a look inside the cabin, because after all, it is a limousine. Starting in the rear, the attention to detail in here is quite extraordinary. You have these beautiful Mark Levinson speakers. There's 23 all up, and it's a massive system engineered with the car. Lashings of leather everywhere. There's probably no other car on the road this side of a Rolls Royce that has as much cowhide in it. You've got these carpets that are incredibly plush. You don't have to have it in maroon red, of course. There are all sorts of colours to choose from. And there are heaps of different elements of Japanese craftsmanship you can choose from, including cut glass door inserts that you can add. Obviously, you've got amenities like sun blinds that can be put up and down. This screen here can control seat ventilation, seat heating, massaging functions. You can move that seat forward and backwards from here. You've got screens that will display all sorts of things. You've got seats that recline, LED lights and a felt headlining. Not to mention that sound system that really does sound a bit like a concert orchestra. All told, it is a lovely place to spend time, as it damn well should be, considering it's a range-topping limousine. I'll give you a look at the cabin as well. Now, I chose this one in red just because it pops a little more, but again, you don't have to have the red. And I'll hop out and bring you into the front. And we'll start it up so you can have a look at the new infotainment system. So this is the hybrid model, a new dual motor hybrid system. Nice little impressive display there upon startup. You've got the nods to traditional Lexus, like the analog clock and again the lashings of leather everywhere, but you've also got this new infotainment system. It's still got this slightly polarizing trackpad style setup, but it does feel a bit more resolved than some of the earlier applications that we've used. The hybrid setup has an EV mode and a lithium-ion battery pack, moving the company on from nickel metal hydride systems. No huge surprises in here. There are about 1 million sub-menus to completely lose yourself in. One of the cool things that Lexus mentioned before is that the climate control system actually uses infrared sensors to find hot and cold points in the cabin and adjust the temperature to suit, which I think is pretty nerdy and yet pretty amazing. There's no doubt we've come a long way since that original model. As we change the driving modes up here in this stalk, as you can see, the screen changes with you, which I think is pretty cool. It's kind of inspired by the LFA in an interesting sort of way. Anyway, that's a quick look at the circa $200,000 Lexus LS luxury car. The Japanese answer to the Mercedes-Benz S-Class, Audi A8, etc, etc, etc. Why don't you let us know in the comments below what you think? Oh, and there's one more thing I should mention before I go, and that's the fact that the standard air suspension actually raises when you're in park, so getting into it is a bit easier. If you have creaky old hips and you're drawn to the SUVs with a high driving position, maybe this low-slung sedan can talk you around. Anyway, as I was saying, let us know in the comments what you think. Can Japan really match up to the Germans? Not just on a qualitative one, but also an image one. And await the review later this week. Cheers, guys.